And we're live. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, fellow gamers. Welcome back. Welcome to my live stream. Previously, it was called The Modern Audience Show. The show for the modern audience that doesn't exist. But now I'm making it or turning it into something much simpler. At least the title. The title of the stream. Now it's just welcome to my live stream. It's more generic because it can be anything. Maybe I could be playing games. I could be watching videos. Or I can just be doing nothing at all. Anyway, guys, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a good day. Well, as for me, well, my right arm is in a little bit of pain because of the way I was lying down. I guess I was like in one position for like a few hours, and now, yeah, it's not actually my right arm, it's more like my right shoulder. Anyway, enough of that. I digress. And let's get started with the show with, well, it's not the modern audience show anymore, with my live stream. So what do we have here in YouTube land? No DEI allowed. Kotaku tries to slander Space Marine 2, success and fails. And then we have here from Critical Drinker. Wait, I was wrong. It's with Critical Drinker. Maybe we'll start with this one. No DEI allowed. This happened like 7 hours ago. Oh, by the way, I forgot the music that is playing in the background. It's called Welcome to the Show, which is, I guess, appropriate to the title of my live stream, which is Welcome to my live stream. In a way, you guys are welcome to the show. It's by Kevin MacLeod and it's licensed under Creative Commons 4.0. You can download it for free at Incompetech.
Pretend for a second that you're an activist at Kotaku and you see a comment go absolutely viral from a CEO that is anti-DEI, pro-gamers.
By the way, this is a Smash JT video.
Try and smear it, of course. Try to discredit it.
I'm already going to give it a like.
Gets out there and completely destroys your corporation. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT and Kotaku's latest smear attempt against Space Marine 2 has failed.
Of course, what else can they do?
To us from none other than
What else can they do? All they can do is
in the past, because I thought
write bad things about
it was different. He never
games or things they don't like.
Kotaku detected. He was never super aggressive.
I am really surprised.
He doesn't
Really surprised how websites like this are still existing today.
someone who might be different. But no, in this situation,
Kotaku has existed like for many years, but
just like everyone else who works.
I don't remember ever visiting it.
Give me a like and check out smashjt.com for the full article breaking down Kotaku's latest smear attempt against Space Marines 2. It's no secret that Kotaku has had quite the habit of launching attacks on...
These are, what I like to call assholes. They're assholes. They're being assholes.
Wild success of Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2.
Why are they assholes? Because they see something that is successful and they try to bring it down. They have what we call here in our country a crab mentality.
By trying to question the authority of Karsh's comments' authenticity, because he was worried the account that made the comment wasn't actually the CEO, and he was trying his best to discredit it because it painted DEI in such a bad light that he's like, I gotta try to find a way to find out if it was Karsh, and if it was, we're gonna try to slander the company for being anti-DEI, and if it isn't Karsh, I'm gonna try to slander all the people that were saying it was him because we don't want this game to be successful. While on the surface, I gotta be honest, it could be coming across.
So websites like Kotaku, IGN, The Gamer, PC Gamers, they're all
the story that gets out there is the truth. But this is Kotaku.
Assholes.
And that's the last thing they care.
And I don't care if they get mad at me for saying it because obviously they will never know.
For comment on
and it doesn't matter.
Since it reads like an anti-woke crusader slop, but haven't heard back yet. The account was only created in May, and the bio reads generic male of sort.
Ah, look at that. This is the guy that's being shown on video is the head asshole in Kotaku.
Will be Sherlock Holmes. Is it him? Is it not him? Let's find out who to pin the blame on, because the gamers are winning right now and they want to do everything they can.
It's not the gamers who are winning. It's common sense. Common sense is winning. In the end, it's always common sense.
Crusader slop. Who the hell phrases it like that? This isn't journalism, it's a smear job dressed up as a query. Outside of dressing like the opposite sex, it's the best thing Kotaku dresses for. The viral comment that I covered in a previous video, I'll link it above me right now because it is a behemoth that completely exposes the back end of the game industry and why DEI is so destructive in nature. I'm not going to go through it.
It's not DEI, it's simply DIE.
TLDR, it criticized the trend of games imposing morals on gamers.
Because anything it touches or anyone who gets involved with it eventually dies.
For daring to make a non-woke game that focuses on entertainment over the message. Saber says, no comment. Think about this for a second, okay? If this was Saber's CEO, which I genuinely believe it was based off of what I'm going to show you in evidence moving forward here, but let's just go with it is him. Look at how Kotaku is trying to frame it to find out if it was him, because it was anti-woke DEI slop that is just has no place in professional gaming, and we need to rid ourselves of that.
It has no place in the world.
The game world. Gotch immediately moved to undermine the legitimacy of the statement by trying to point out that the YouTube account in question was created in May. And it looks like this.
Look at that. He doesn't, at least, okay, I'm going to give him credit.
While others are claiming
he's not calling himself a journalist. He's calling himself
and it did not comment on Asmongold's video. And looking at the video,
a reporter. Good for him.
Genuine account of Matthew Karsh, the CEO.
At least he has a little bit of common sense. He knows that
which theoretically, stay with me, it could be.
He is not a journalist.
Except for a couple of things that give it credence to actually being an alt account of Matthew Karsh. Because it's pretty obvious when you go through these that it is him. But before I even get to that, Ethan followed up with, update. Saber Interactive tells me it won't comment on whether a YouTube comment on Asmongold's channel complaining about games imposing morals on gamers belongs to its CEO or not. But as I mentioned in my video covering this, it wasn't just Matthew Karsh that commented in Asmongold's video. It was also a writer by the name of Oliver Hollis Leak. And his account links to his actual account with videos that are like 8 or 9 years old showing him doing the motion capture for games and Halo and all the stuff he's worked on. So if he wants to try to discredit Matthew Karsh in the fake account, how would he explain that one of the writers also commented there, backing up what Matthew Karsh said? Don't you think that they'd be talking to each other and being like, yeah, I commented on that video too? It's a little bit strange to think one of them's real and the other one's not. But let's go into even more research in proving that it was Matthew Karsh. And this was 4 days ago on LinkedIn from Matthew Karsh. After our departure from Embracer, we have been working on finding a partner with the resources to help Saber grow and with the foresight to believe in our business plan. On the heels of our release of Space Marine 2, which has already wildly surpassed our projections, we are proud to announce that we have taken on 2 equity investors, Elf Capital Partners and Crestview Capital Partners. I can't express how happy I am to have gotten this done and how excited I am to be working with Jamie and Brian. This is a new chapter in Saber's history, and we are well equipped to help change the face.
Just make sure you're working with people with common sense.
Kind of sounds like someone that wrote that comment. They want to change the game industry's face. They want to get back to the regular way it used to be, that kind of thing. But maybe it's not proof enough. Let's keep reading on to make sure this is the same guy. We could not have gotten here without the support of Lars, Kiki, and Jacob from Embracer. I have and always will consider them to be a part of our family. And of course, a massive thanks to my brother, the keyboard god, Michael Levy, who has been our advisor, friend, confidant, and my personal therapist for the past 18 months. Saber is committed to changing the way we make and deliver games. Gone will be the days of $100 million+ budgets and the nickel and diming of gamers. Our industry has been stuck in the Jurassic era of bloated budgets and risk-laden releases for way too long. With Crestview and Elf by our side, we are poised to change that. How can you read that message on LinkedIn and relate it to the comment on Asmon's Gold video and say, no, those aren't the same people? It's literally the same thing against the game industry and trying to return it to a simpler time, bringing the budgets down and bringing the fun levels back up. I think it's safe to say that it's the same guy. But God forbid Ethan Gash do any investigation whatsoever to prove this. In fact, I would argue one of 2 things happened.
Again, JD, the reason why he didn't do any investigation is because he's just a reporter, okay? He's not a journalist.
Investigation required to find out about it. He saw that.
A journalist, they do. If he was a journalist, then he'll do
Persist on this narrative.
some kind of investigation and research, but because he's just a reporter,
I can make it
he just reports on things.
Kotaku's
They're 2 different things.
Matthew Karsh's viral comment only further proves just how insanely out of touch they are with what gamers truly want. And while they busy themselves with trying to undermine the game's massive achievements, the rest of us rally behind developers like Karsh and those willing to stand up for a return to games that are about fun and not agendas. And that is as anti-DEI as you can.
Well, I guess you can say that Space Marine 2 has also a political agenda.
SmashJT.com. I will link this in the.
They are against
If you appreciate what I'm doing, please consider hitting that join button.
alien creatures,
As always,
fictional alien creatures.
It didn't, management didn't give the impression that they were, ready to seriously deal. And so once the contract expired, we'd be forced to work without a contract. And, now we're on strike.
Well, good for you, sir. Good for you. It was good to know that they're on strike. Good for them. Good that they are on strike. Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. We have Am I Racist? It's not gaming content. Everything is gay. Everything is awesome. Why the media hate Lollipop Chainsaw Repop from baiting irrelevance. Okay, so This is my first time saying this show. Let's see what they have to say about Chainsaw Massacre Repop. Wait, there's no massacre in there, I believe. It's Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. I'm sorry about that. My guess is I'm mixing up two things, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I'm mixing it up with Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. They have some similarities, right? The chainsaw.
Lollipop Chainsaw Repop was released on December 12, 2024 to mostly positive fan reviews. While we will discuss some glaring issues later, most agree that the game is fun. More importantly, it captures some of that old magic.
Come on, seriously.
The title is not
The only thing, the most important thing
I would have expected at least a certain
for a game to have is fun.
Since the release of this title, there
A
have
game could look
suspects. While I do
awesome.
anyone to roll out
It could have awesome graphics.
the title,
It could have amazing music and sounds.
while outlets like Kotaku
But if it's not fun, then what's the point?
calling the game
What's the point if it's not fun? I'll just
both decided
know,
not to give it an
I'll
official
just go outside and maybe touch grass.
This can be said about most other major outlets as well. There is
That would be much more fun than playing a game that is not fun.
leader in compromising positions by today's standards is no longer appropriate. To be clear, the standards I am referring to here are those of the mainstream media. The player base still loves these types of titles. While outlets might gravitate more toward the character designs in video games like Conquered, fans
Oh my goodness, what is that slop?
fan service for a reason.
One viewers,
but more on that later
plus
as
one.
well.
20 minutes and
Remasters like
38
Saints Row and
seconds.
GTA at least receive proper reviews for their efforts. While it can be argued that they are much larger, which is why they received more attention, other smaller releases like Destroy All Humans also received the proper treatment. Firstly, I need to be clear. It is okay if people do not like the title. I cannot believe I am saying this, but
Yeah, it's okay if you don't like a title.
back in 2012. There they were also not very fond of the title, and it is fine if they did not enjoy it. They stated back then, Lollipop embraces exploitation to poke fun at itself. Everything is excessively violent, excessively sexual, and mashed together with glitter, sparkles, and rainbows. Thematically, it's a weird, funny mix. At some point, however, the over-the-top exploitation of a hypersexualized high school student isn't the parody it started as anymore. They conclude their original review by saying, Lollipop Chainsaw doesn't even attempt to differentiate itself from the genre, and most of what it does try new in the realm of its characters, and writing ultimately ends up taking away from an incredible
The idea of
The music and sidekick are really all you
not liking
stay great from start to finish. The rest of Lollipop
a game is, I guess, mind-blowing to some people, but
the end
yeah,
is a 5 out of 10. It is their opinion.
it is okay. It is okay to not like a game, and it's also very okay to like a game.
I will say before, and that is in defense of Kotaku. They also re-released their original review. Since Lollipop Chainsaw Repop is a remaster, Kotaku is free to remaster their review as well. They, however, had a very interesting spin on the game, suggesting that it is feminist. In fact, they surprised me with their positivity. Although this was back in 2012, it is possible that they were not complete crazies yet. In their original review, I had known the horror
Yeah,
achievements
if it's like back then, maybe they're not yet
I think its unicorn vomit-covered action is
Assholes, okay? They're not yet assholes. But now they're a bunch of assholes trying to dictate what gamers should and shouldn't like.
through its dental floss bikinis and love letter wide cheer uniform.
Again, if you naturally don't like a game, that is okay. But what's not okay is dictating
Especially for girls in 2023,
what others should and shouldn't like.
Stacey Henley in The Gamer correctly note, fully welcomes women of all kinds to the pot of gold at the end of feminism. The Game, a collaboration between cult favorite designer Suda51 and the Suicide Squad 2021, director James Gunn, guiltlessly features Juliet Starling as its chainsaw swinging.
Nah, okay, so it says that it's for girls. It's not for girls. Just because the main character is a girl, it doesn't mean that it's just for girls. The same is true with male main characters. Just because the main character is male, it doesn't mean it's just for males
Professional reviews.
or men.
Do not know any of them. In total, the reception was mixed. The user score was more positive, giving it a mostly favorable 8.5. Over the years, a lot has been made about fan service. That is the title's core. There is no denying this game is
Again, these assholes, these assholes who are complaining about the characters showing a lot of skins. These are the same assholes that it's okay when real life human females,
It usually involves overly politicized stories.
they're okay.
More on
They're okay for them to show skins. Just look at celebrities in walking down the red carpet. Just look at
expecting applause because
just look at what do you call this?
in his video
Just look at their parades.
that you know
They're not just showing skins, they're even showing genitalias.
a diverse group.
So it's okay, that is perfectly okay.
No, it is a bunch of.
But if it's a fictional
Does it mean that women, gay people, and
fictional game character, female game character, it's not okay. It's not okay. Even though the game is rated mature or for older audience.
saying
Of course, not the modern audience, but
it is okay to create fan
mature or older audience.
is not perfect. There are some issues. One of these issues is bugs in pricing. Yoshimi Yasuda responded to this issue by stating, "We have received feedback from players that pricing in different regions of the world has not been thoroughly researched. We agree with the players and will adjust the prices as soon as possible. We will announce the changes on our SNS, so please stay tuned. Next, we have received some bug reports and are currently working on fixing them. We will not only fix the bugs, but also consider option settings and optimizations. First, regarding the physics engine, we are using Kawaii Physics as a plug in Repop, because the physics engine used in the original version is not compatible with UE5. The behavior of the physics engine was caused by a bug in the parameters, and we will fix it promptly. We are also fixing other graphics bugs. If you notice anything, please contact us at below. Finally, I'm disappointed that some influencers and journalists are spreading false news, such as
Yeah, they're a bunch of assholes.
a censored mode.
I'm going to apologize for their bad behavior. Well, I'm not. I'm not going to apologize for them. Why should I? They're a bunch of assholes. Yeah.
applied to the platformer and obtained release approval without receiving any correction instructions from all the platformers. This is the same as what I told you before, and I honestly shared this fact with the game users. If someone is trying to twist the story about the uncensored version of Lollipop Chainsaw Repop to suit their own purposes, I will protest. As stated, the game is not perfect. Some will not like the title. If you are uncomfortable because you think it is over-sexualized, then it is fine. I will not fault you for that. However, I do expect outlets to give this title a fair shake, and sadly, we have not seen that. Luckily, we do not need them. The game is out, and the majority of fans have spoken. The game is fun to play, and you should give it a try.
They don't deserve anyone apologizing for them being an asshole. a bunch of assholes invading or infesting the gaming communities. Let me. Did I give the video a like? I don't remember. Let's go back. I'm just going to go back.
Lollipop Chainsaw Repop was...
Okay, so the channel is baiting irrelevance. I have no idea, but this is my first time seeing a video from this channel. Is that AI voice? Okay, using AI voice or AI in videos are very common. At least now it's very common, but obviously it is the age of AI has begun. So you will see a lot more content made, or at least use some kind of AI tool. Okay, forcing FAA Sweet Baby. Ooh, okay, we have here a video from Dr. Disaster, a space pirate that pays taxes. Let's go listen to what Dr. Disaster has to say. It's about Sweet Baby. Okay, it's about Sweet Baby.
Dr. Disaster, and we have another Sweet Baby Inc. game that will be dropping in about a month, and it looks like this thing is gonna crash and burn like every other Sweet Baby title that is come out.
Is it really hard to design a good-looking character? I guess.
By Reflector Entertainment.
I guess.
They just released a new trailer for this turd, trying to drum up interest. And there are two things to note about this trailer, which should have Bandai Namco, the parent company that owns Reflector. It should have them absolutely cringing in embarrassment. First of all, not many people watched this stinker, despite the fact that it is a AAA game. At the time of this recording, after
What? This is a AAA game? Wow, okay, let's see what this
the trailer already
AAA game is. I'm pretty sure it's just a game with that focuses more on graphics rather than fun.
This is the worst!
The developers of Unknown 9 Awakening hired Sweet Baby Inc. to consult on this game, and it clearly hasn't paid off. They wanted to lure in
Okay, so game developers, gaming studios, here is a novel idea. Why not
can't stand this
hire consultants
modern audience.
who knows how to make fun games?
I've got a little snack for you.
Also, stop making games for the modern audience that doesn't exist. They don't exist. How about you guys start making games targeting me?
All right, me hearties.
And the games I like to play are games like Skyrim.
Forget to follow me on Twitter.
Skyrim is not a very hard game to replicate
For your reference, my handle
because
is Dr. Disaster 1.
it's basically just wandering around following a certain story.
In the retail industry that I've been using to track the sales trends of video games, this person runs 9 retail stores in a highly populated area, and I'm being told that in all 9 stores combined, there hasn't been a single pre-order for Unknown 9 Awakening.
My guess the reason is because the title of the game is unknown.
I am still betting that
So
I will disclose this. I'm being
if it's unknown, then
that in those 14 stores, they
finding it is gonna be hard. It's like me. I am unknown.
It's not surprising, is it?
And because I'm unknown,
This game has going for it is the fact that it has that chip
my reach is not far.
star. Some
It's not wide. It's quite
so that's something
limited.
you can see in the thumbnail for the IGN.
Maybe they should have titled the game as
favors here. The actress is
Known 9 or Popular 9.
she's a freaking corpse. These people in the modern video game industry really just don't like to show anything that even remotely looks like an attractive female. Do this.
See?
It's kind of funny, but whatever.
See?
Said before, this video
Dr. Disaster
20,000 views, and if you look at the rate,
had the same thoughts when I first opened the
that is
video, or when I first played the video. I said, is it really hard to make a good-looking character?
massive failures from the last few months that couldn't even crack
It's not hard because
on Steam.
game developers from the East,
100. And I think that's exactly the
they are quite good at making good-looking characters. But again, the West is getting infected and infested by brain rot that
it's even more pathetic.
they're losing this concept of beauty.
Has only 6,700 views on it. Keep in mind that the PlayStation YouTube account has almost 16 million subscribers, and yet so far, not even 7
Let me guess, maybe 14 million of that is inactive.
to about 400 dislikes. But here's the thing. These games that bring in consultancies like Sweet Baby and which go out of their way to appeal to the feminist screeching harpies and the simp jackasses who go along with their stupidity.
Also, if you're going to target women or females, it's best to make narrative-driven games with lots of drama.
In on these trailers,
Okay,
watch them, and absolutely oblivious.
because
That is bad enough.
I guess you can say it's
Is when people are just so checked
a
out
kind of stereotype, but
they don't enjoy
usually females, they love watching dramas. They love
and that goes
telenovelas. They love K-dramas,
all the
J-dramas,
this company invested into this game. And
soap operas.
videos, they don't even have 30,000 views, and they don't even have 2,000 likes. Sweet Baby Inc. is the kiss of death for video games, and the mentality where companies think they need to hire people like Sweet Baby, that mentality will kill the industry.
Here's the thing. I think the idea is this. Because the
For some
regular audience already exists, so I think the idea is they want to get the modern audience to, to add,
and
because
conquer the changing landscape.
the gaming industry, when it comes to gamers, it has already peaked.
But I'm going to leave it there. Make
So they're trying to get the modern audience.
9 Awakening
These are the woke audience, the woke people, the woke folks that don't usually play games. They want to get them to play games, or it's basically a very small number or percentage. They want to get them to play games to add on top of the existing gamers or players. But what's happening is that because they're targeting the non-existing modern audience, they are now alienating the existing and the currently existing normal audience, real audience. So what happens now is that because they have alienated the existing audience, those are gone, and then they're trying to attract the modern audience that doesn't exist. It's also gone. They're left with, guess what? Nothing. They're left with nothing. Because anything, any number multiplied by zero is zero. The modern audience is zero. The real audience is any positive number. You multiply the two, what you'll get? You'll get zero. You'll get nothing. What they're trying to achieve is maybe an addition, but that is not happening. The reverse is happening. And the sooner they realize that what they're doing is not working and they're just losing gamers, they're losing customers, the sooner we will go back to enjoying good games, good content, good movies, good television series. And because they are stubborn and hard-headed, they will only realize it once they start losing money. Disney, corporations like Disney, even though they are losing money with their projects, with their DIE or die projects or die-infested projects, yeah, they're losing money. But because they are a $1 trillion corporation, it's not affecting them. The same way big corporations like Amazon, Warner, because they're $1 trillion corporations, even though they're losing money on their DIE projects or projects that are targeting the woke folks, the modern audience, it hasn't really affected them. So if you want them to change their way or ways, we need to stop consuming what they are releasing. We shouldn't give them our money because that is the bottom line. Once it starts affecting their bottom line, which is making money, they will immediately turn around and go back to doing what people with common sense do. Until then, all we can do is, I guess, watch how they keep on failing. They will keep on failing until it affects their bottom line. Just look at the latest news coming out of Ubisoft. The investors, the shareholders are taking action against Ubisoft because it has affected their bottom line. Oh my goodness, look at that. Amazon Biz Games fail, triggers class action lawsuit. Transformers 1 movie review. Okay, Ubisoft blames gamers for failure of Assassin's Creed Shadows. They're so stupid. They're so stupid that they're blaming gamers. Come on, you put out a product and it's bad. And you expect your customers, your audience to consume your slop? Come on. They're not just a bunch of assholes, they're also stupid. they can't think properly because again their brain has rotted. I think this was already explained, like because they're using a different physics engine. The one they used on the original game was not compatible with UE5, and my guess is, of course, they can obviously just do the physics themselves, but maybe it'll take more time. It'll take a lot of more money, which maybe they don't have, and they just want to get the game or the remake of the game released. That is possible. Okay, so let's go check this out. I'm going to check this one first. It's their fault. Look at this. Now it's Rev says Desu. In the other day, the name of the channel was just Rev. I'm guessing that Rev has multiple channels.
Hey, what's up guys, up here. So the nightmare year for Ubisoft has continued because they got caught running to journalists to blame gamers for the failures of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now recently we saw the release of Star Wars Outlaws, which was another flop for Ubisoft, which coincided with another drop in their stock.
They can't admit that it's their fault. They're the ones to blame because in their minds they can do no wrong.
Among shareholders.
How is it our fault? It's not our fault. We are perfect human beings. We are incapable of doing wrong. We can't do mistakes. So, if our project, if it's failing, it's obviously not our fault. It's the gamer's fault.
Service to prevent them from saying further things that might damage the.
I'm telling you now, that is how their brain works.
Now, looking forward into 2024, Ubisoft really only has one major bullet left in their chamber, and that's Assassin's Creed Shadows, which releases in November of this year, which, once again, I'll remind you that they ensured to shareholders this game would succeed because players would receive it in a very positive way. And a few days ago, we saw the world trailer for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and look at that. It's an absolute flop that is heavily disliked by gamers, getting 83,000 dislikes and only 19,000 likes. Yeah, a brutal ratio right there. Now, what do you do when you get criticism like that? Well, it looks like Ubisoft has chosen the worst possible route by going to the New York Times to attack players in defense of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like I said,
my dear fellow gamers,
more interviews because they keep making fools out of themselves, and
they have declared war.
Now, before we get into the Assassin's Creed portion of the article, I think that Park Place brings up a really good point of comparison, where basically
if it's war they want,
are very similar to the tactics done.
It's war they'll get.
The rings back in 2022. So back then, the executives of the show approached Vanity Fair writers, and they
just remember, my fellow gamers, there are thousands of other games out there that you can play that are made by people. I'm not even going to call them game developers because they're people made by people.
And as always, you see the games journalists
who appreciates you, who likes you,
directed towards the creators of the
show. So instead of
2022, that duo at Variety
playing games made by a bunch of assholes that hates you,
even without characters,
it's better to play games made by people who appreciates you.
kind of like a page out of the book of Amanda Stenberg with the acolyte hate, right? Blaming les bigots and the trolls online for the viewership and the criticism that they're receiving. But anyways, they go on to cite a woman named Maria Rios Maldonado, right? Who they described as a token scholar. That was definitely not an intentional pun they made there. But anyways, however, she is anything but. Rather, she was a PhD student at the University of Glasgow who is interested in ethics, feminist theory, and encountering the other in Tolkien's works. She also happened to be the Equity and Diversity Officer for the University of Glasgow's Center for Fantasy and the Fantastic. Oh, it all adds up, doesn't it? Now, she would continue and say that basically these fans are racist for simply wanting a lore-accurate adaptation of this franchise, where Maldonado questions...
No. She's racist.
And backlash.
She's racist because
From who?
she can't tolerate
People that feel so
the actual races of the characters in the original
Latino or Asian.
lore.
We've seen examples of this very recently, actually, with the Lord of the Rings product Tales of the Shire that recently had a showcase here, showing some diversity among the hobbits. You can see that's how it turned out, and it's getting clowned on very hard right now on social media. But now we can go back to Assassin's Creed Shadows and compare what happened in 2022 with Rings of Power versus this. So again, we're going to see people at Ubisoft approach
What they're doing is like they're
a fraudster
projecting themselves. They are the actual racists,
onto bigotry. So here we go. They end up
but
teaming up with New York Times.
they can't say that to themselves because they know
They quote this.
it'll expose themselves. So instead,
Referring to Yasuke, convinced
they're calling everybody else racist.
recreations of the past had gone woke by including a black character in its depiction of 16th century Japan. He then claims that developers received personal attacks and death threats during an online harassment campaign. To no surprise, he shares no evidence of such attacks or threats. And honestly, I think that just comes with the territory, unfortunately. I mean, anyone covering Assassin's Creed Shadows and criticizing it for some of its decisions also get that kind of vitriol from people online, but no one really cares what happens to YouTubers and people like that who are criticizing.
Honestly, the internet needs more
This whole thing about
outlets, websites, people
a black character,
that are
feudal Japan,
influential
and that is a complete
but with common sense. We need more, okay? More mainstream
because he was the best
outlets
main protagonist
run by people with common sense.
representation.
Right now, we only have X, or maybe Rumble as well. X, Rumble,
Aside,
but Rumble is not that big right now.
but they clearly took him and
And look at me, I'm
be very good for
in YouTube.
diversity and inclusivity.
Imagine if Rev says Desu
They were going for here,
was in Rumble, or again,
and in the
I've said this like
literally
I'm like a broken record. I keep saying things
right
because
defensive part.
I want
They are preaching
I
about
want to remind myself and of course anyone who stumble upon these videos or streams that
of diversity and progression, and it's really
if
ridiculous.
all the content creators that I watch in YouTube
Signaling campaigns. But anyway,
are also in Rumble,
the big heart of the issue here.
there is no reason for me to watch anything in YouTube anymore.
The problem with
The only thing I can do when I'm watching videos in YouTube is turn on
approach this character and other
ad blocker. In Rumble, I don't have ad blocker
wanted to faithfully
turned on.
real
But in YouTube, I have it turned on.
something that was backed up by Ubisoft and also games journalists who said Yasuke is a samurai, not a retainer, as history has always suggested up until this point. He is a samurai, and that if you have an issue with that, there's clearly something wrong with you. You're a bigot, what have you.
Nah, they are the one who's racist.
Where another individual was cited as the source
They are invading
of the samurai. So after
some other people's culture.
leaving a
They're trying to change
being refuted for months by
another
here
or other people's history and culture.
that is without question Yasuke was a samurai. There are
I think there's a word for that. It's like it's almost the same as cultural appropriation.
Now, before
Imagine if this happened or happens to a colored or black person.
supposed historians
They'll be in the internet crying of cultural appropriation. It's the same with the hairstyle. I forgot the dreadlocks.
page slot book
They're claiming that it's their culture when
samurai, and in his own time, slowly over the course of
You know,
years, defacing the Wikipedia page of
other races
refer to him as a retainer,
have used the same
claiming as such, that
hairstyle
and then slowly
in
started
history
his own book as a source
that is not related to
until a few months ago, where
related to them.
to a samurai on the Wikipedia page, all in an effort to promote his own book. And that was exposed, and a lot of people in Japan are very offended by some of the things in this book, and eventually people had to move on to a new expert, which was this guy, whoever this guy is, right? So he comes out and
That guy hates Japan.
people on Twitter went
Yeah.
this clip.
His goal is to get out of Japan.
People wagging their fingers in the faces of people who were critics of the samurai claim, saying, "You're wrong. This historian, this expert has come forward and proved you wrong." Well, it turns out, according to this Japanese YouTuber and many others, that this is just a guy who works at a Japanese restaurant. This is just a guy who's a YouTuber. He's not a historian. He's just a Japanese man wearing a kimono, and people used him as an expert. They assumed he must be an expert on Japanese history, which is very offensive, by the way. It's like seeing a dude named Billy Bob wearing a cowboy hat and in a pickup truck and being like, "Yep, he must be an expert on some of the past of America, the American history." It's just such a stupid thing to claim. So that was debunked. And then we get to Hirayama. He was the next one in the revolving door here. And he would make his statements, like I said. And this would be used by people, again, to weaponize hatred towards anyone questioning the samurai status of Yasuke. And again, as it was pointed out in the article, his claims are that there's not enough history or historical evidence to suggest that he's not a samurai, basically. Like, they're saying that the absence of...
So they're doing the reverse. The absence of proof makes it true.
But going forward, this would be questioned as well, beginning with the fact that he is a member of the Japanese Communist Party. And if you're like me, I hear...
How are these people existing?
But if that's not enough for you, understand why that's relevant. Because Hirayama
The absence of proof makes it true.
historiography theory that basically does not require empirical evidence to make claims about history. Meaning, you can just say whatever you want pretty much, if it just feels right. So that's how he's determining that Yasuke is a samurai, basically saying, yeah, there's no real evidence to suggest it, but it just makes sense to me. So
Okay, so
obviously
if it's that easy, then I guess
completely baseless and
the people working in Ubisoft are really a bunch of assholes.
just trash.
Because
But moving forward,
that's all it takes. You can just claim that they're a bunch of assholes and
Tainer and someone
it's true. That is proof enough.
for Nobunaga.
Wow.
And even go on to say that
Wow.
it was proven that Yasuke was a samurai. It was much more of a formality that often was given to favorite entertainers and other companions of these people, including sumo wrestlers. Like, obviously it wasn't expected that they were going to go out and fight in wars, but it was given as sort of a aesthetic, and they were given a sword and everything else. It was more of a vanity related thing. So those are very damning claims against the claims that Yasuke was a samurai. But continuing on, not only did Small cite the communist Hirayama, but like Vanity Fair with Maldonado, he cited Cosmo
Again, guys, see, are you seeing the parallels between woke
and translator
and communism?
Hashimoto told Small,
Look at that.
people in the West who are
They're
upset.
now citing a communist.
Now that is
Come on, guys. How are you guys not seeing this? They are exposing themselves.
claim. It's actually
Wokeness
among Japanese gamers
is communism.
of the Japanese government. And look at some of the trailers.
The parallels are glaring.
This was some of the early
As days goes on,
more crooked and negative
they are
West. And again, people will defend this by saying, "Oh, it's
The similarities is just keeps on
and
becoming clearer and clearer. I can unfortunately I can't really say clearer,
again, the light
clear enough.
even more brutal." So it's continued all throughout these months.
The parallels, see it's like
Getting any better.
they're looking at a mirror. It's like they are a mirror,
And
a
Paulson makes absolutely no sense given Small even admits
reflection of each other
players Small
in a mirror.
after the online blowback, the game's development team attempted to assuage the concerns about the game's authenticity, apologizing in a lengthy statement for promotional materials that it said had bothered some Japanese audiences. In fact, he even noted that a political party in Japan formally asked the government to comment on what it considers historical inaccuracies. And yes, they did make an apology post, where ironically, they flipped their entire view of how history will play into their own games, now changing their perspective from being historically accurate to now saying that we try to respect Japanese culture, but we'll make our own creative decisions. Where then a month after that, in this post right here, they would flip-flop once again to their main position, and then a few days ago, they flip-flopped again, now saying that they're going to make creative choices and that it's not going to be historically accurate. It's mind-blowing.
It doesn't matter anymore if they keep on flip-flopping,
This is the
because
Mary for Ubisoft.
everyone
Their last
already knew.
countless flops and the hundreds of millions of dollars they've lost on other projects, and this is their savior, Assassin's Creed Shadows, that's looking like it's going to be one of the biggest bombs of 2024, but that's not too surprising given the context surrounding this game. But for now, that's going to do it for this video, as always.
Instead of playing Assassin's Creed Shadow, why not just play the other samurai game? I forgot what it's called. There was another samurai game that was released, and I think that one is, if you are really itching for a Japanese fighting RPG type of game. I forgot the name of the game. Anyway, because I'm not really interested in,
Visit Cavalier Office.
in
Link.
games with, I guess you can say Souls-like combat. I wouldn't say Assassin's Creed has Souls-like combat, but I'm also not big on stealth-based games. I like games where I can just, smash the keys or the button on my mouse, and they just the character just keeps on attacking. Right now, I'm getting a lot of spams in Second Life Insane. And I have no idea how I'm getting them, because I'm blocking the source of the spams, but they just keep coming. It's like they have found a loophole or a way in Second Life for them to keep sending spam even though they've been already blocked. I blocked the source and I'm still getting spammed. Wow. Okay. As they say, if there is a will, they'll find a way. And they are and their will is to send spam. They must send their spam no matter what. And because of that, they found ways on doing it even after getting blocked. Insane. Again, guys, the music is Welcome to the Show by Kevin MacLeod. Licensed under Creative Commons 4.0. You can download it for free at incompetech.com. And I'm sad to say that there are assholes. Well, it's not surprising, but assholes exist in YouTube, a lot of them. And some of them would download music like the ones from Kevin MacLeod, put it in a random video, upload it to YouTube, and then here comes the part that is very assholey of them. They would claim other videos that use the music as their own, even though they know it's not theirs, but it's going to cost you, well, wouldn't say grief, maybe grief and annoyance. And they would claim it and monetize it. Imagine if you are a big YouTube channel and you get like millions of views on your videos, and you use a Kevin MacLeod music or any music from other sources that you are able to use without or free to use without other, what do you call this? Well, the permission is actually the license. So in any way, there's a lot of sources for music like that, and they claim it. Instead of you getting the money, it's them getting the money. And YouTube is allowing such a practice. My goodness. There's a bunch of them. And I've encountered them like, I wouldn't say a few times, but a lot of times already. Well, I would always dispute the claim, and I do it by just copy pasting the license, the CC4 license that is provided in the website. Just copy and paste it, and YouTube will release the claim. But if your video is monetized, YouTube will not return the money. That is the insane part. What if the asshole made like $10 from your video? That is $10 you're not going to get anymore. And YouTube is not doing anything about these assholes. They are just letting them do whatever they like or whatever they want. just listening to the music. Whoa, what's happening here? Ah, there you go. I was like talking to my microphone and my on-screen avatar wasn't opening its mouth. See, I referred to my on-screen avatar as an it because it's not a human being. Again. These woke assholes, they don't like it when you objectify what is technically an object. If you find a piece of block and you put a bikini on it that shows parts of that doesn't cover most of the block's surface, they will be offended. They will complain that you're showing a lot of parts of the block instead of fully or wholly covering it. Insane people. There is no cure for insanity, I believe. Okay, the only cure is like maybe putting them in a mental institution, but I'm not sure, I'm not sure people are putting mentally ill people in mental institutions today. What they do is they hire them. They hire them to consult for them when they're making content. Insane, right? Insane. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end the stream here. I guess that is the hour. As always, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And if you did, please consider following the channel in Twitch, Rumble, and YouTube. But if you're watching in Twitch and in YouTube, I highly suggest that you watch my content in Rumble instead. And if you don't have a Rumble account, making a Rumble account is free. And if you are a content creator and you're always worried about YouTube shutting your channel down or demonetizing your content because it's not the type of content YouTube likes, rather than making nothing in YouTube, why not share or upload your content in Rumble? Getting monetized in Rumble is quite easy. You don't need to have 1,000 watch time. No. 1,000 followers, 4 hours of watch time. No. 4,000 hours of watch time to be considered, not accepted, considered, because you still have to apply and they can still deny your application. So all you have to do, if you're a content creator thinking of moving to Rumble to monetize your channel, all you have to do is verify your account by entering a mobile phone number. So you'll get a message and then you verify that, and that's it. You're verified. Your channel, your video is monetized. And if you are really popular and you're really good at doing videos and content and live streaming, you'll get hundreds if not thousands of viewers and views, and you will make money. You will make money. Again, it's better than not making money or anything in YouTube because you got demonetized. There you go. Make a Rumble account, and if you can, please sign up under me. My referral link is rumble.com/register/caballero. Yeah. Signing up under me will not, or Rumble will not pay me anything for doing that. It's not, I guess you can say it's not an affiliate link. It's not like my affiliate links for WT-Fast and Proton or Viper VPN. If it's an affiliate link and you click on the link and you paid for the service, then I will get a commission, maybe a 10% commission from what you paid, or at most 20%. But usually it's around 10%. And that is one way of supporting the channel, supporting what I do. You don't have to send a donation or a tip or a Rumble rant, although those are very much appreciated. You don't even need to sign up using my affiliate links. Just watch my videos in Rumble with no ad block, if you can, please. When I'm in Rumble, I don't have ad block turned on because I want the ads to show when I'm watching a video in Rumble. Also, ads in Rumble, they're not very intrusive, unlike in Twitch where it can, or in YouTube where it can appear mid-video. It's like you're watching this video and then boom, you're like 20 minutes in the video and an ad would appear. Nope, in Rumble, the ads only appear at the start of the video. So before the video plays, the ads will play first, and then after that it's watching the video, or after that it's uninterrupted video watching or viewing. I hope I'm making sense. There are times when my sentences doesn't have any grammatical structure, so I hope I'm making sense with what I'm saying. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day. If I can, I'll do another one. Sometimes I would be very busy in Second Life. Sometimes, like for example, yesterday I was like fixing the script that I was working, and it took me. I'm not very good. I'm not a very good coder. No one will hire me as a coder if I try to apply. Maybe if I lie, I could get the job. But here's the thing with lying on the job to get a job. Once you're on the job, they will know that you lied, because why can't you do this? You told us you can do this, but we're now giving you a task to do this, and you're saying you can't? See? You can lie at first. You can lie on your resumes, on your curriculum vitae, whatever they are, if I'm saying it correctly. You can lie during interview, but unless you're really, really good at lying, they might hire you. Okay, they will hire you, because most employers, they don't do background checks. My goodness, you will get the job, but as soon as you're on the job, they will immediately know you were lying. So that is I can write simple scripts, but when it comes to complicated scripts, I'm talking about Second Life here. because when I'm writing scripts, I would always open up the Second Life wiki, or yeah, there's a scripting wiki, because I just can't remember all the functions, all the codes needed. I would think of what I want to do, and then I would look for samples. The problem with sample is that it's not always the exact thing that you're looking for. So you'll have to, look at the sample code and think of ways of making it do, or maybe editing it to make it do what you wanted to do, or what you're trying to do. But I wouldn't really call that like coding from scratch. It's like being a script kiddie back in the day. If you at least know enough to, edit scripts or codes, you're called a script kiddie. You're not yet a hacker there. You're not yet a coder. You're a script kiddie. Anyway, guys, again, have a good day. I'll be back if I can, and thank you for watching. Bye bye for now.